this video, I will be presenting the research I've done on the harmful beauty standards of the Victorian era and how these expectations demonstrate a society that places higher value on a woman's appearance over her well-being. I will be providing an overview of my paper, the effects of several different beauty standards of this era, and how it connects back to society's values for women. To begin, I will provide an outline that also serves as an overview of the structure of my research paper. First, I will analyze three dominant Victoria-era beauty standards: the wearing of corsets, the use of cosmetics, and the obsession with paler skin. Each of these practices caused harm to women and encouraged unhealthy behavior, yet women were still expected to continue them in order to maintain their social status. I will then examine how these beauty standards reflect on broader societal values that reduce a woman's worth solely to her physical appearance, despite her overall well-being and the lasting consequences that can come with this. Finally, I will conclude with posing a series of questions that will further prompt you to think about how society has allowed, and even actively encouraged, these harmful beauty expectations and what that could all mean. One of the most well-known and damaging practices of the Victorian era was the use of corsets. During this time period, a small waist was considered a symbol of beauty and femininity, which could be achieved with the use of a corset, but that came at a significant cost. A corset is a garment designed to reduce the appearance of a woman's waist measurement. The article has a stiff paneling, called a busk, which holds the torso rigid and upright, and contains some form of lacing to allow the garment to be tightened. Through this structure, it creates a specific shape in the waist, hip, and bust areas to achieve society's idealized look for a woman. While the attire may provide help to conform to beauty standards, it also causes severe health problems. According to Susan Isaac in The Dangers of Tight Lacing, the Effects of the Corset, the apparel leads to restricted and even faint breathing, compressed abdominal organs leading to digestion issues over time, weakened back muscles, and ultimately a deformed ribcage. Despite these documented risks, corsets still remain to be widely worn due to Victorian society prioritizing the appearance of a slim figure, encouraging women to endure physical pain in order to meet standards that valued their appearance over their well-being. Makeup during the Victorian era was another damaging beauty practice that posed severe risks to women. Expected by society to stay looking youthful and flawless, women turned to the use of makeup to help achieve this look. However, these products were far from safe. Many Victorian products were packed with toxic substances such as lead, radium, and other harmful ingredients, which all came with known health risks. Despite this, women were still pressured to use them. Conforming to beauty standards was seen as more important than protecting one's health, and refusing to do so could result in social judgment, reduced marriage prospects, or being viewed as unfeminine. All these worries that society implemented into women's brain caused them to continue using products that harmed them. In an article, Narcissist's Reflection, Toxic Ingredients in Cosmetics to the Ages, it is noted that the ingredients within these products could cause scarring, mental impairment, infertility, lead palsy, and eventually death. Yet, cosmetic use remained widespread, demonstrating how women were encouraged, and even advertised, to sacrifice their well-being in order to meet societal ideals of beauty. This highlights how Victorian beauty standards demonstrate society's value in women being in their appearance, not their safety. During this era, pale or white skin was one of the most dominant and chased-after beauty standards that were placed on women. Having pale skin was associated with femininity and higher social status, while darker skin was linked to manual labor and lower status. As a result of this, women experienced intense pressure to maintain a pale complexion in order to be seen as respectable and desirable to society. In the article, Drop Dead Gorgeous, Beauty and Whiteness in Victorian England, Veronica Giannotta explains that this pressure often left women to prioritize their appearance over their own health. One revealing example is the belief that illness could be something to enhance beauty. Giannotta notes that diseases, such as tuberculosis, which caused extreme paleness, was viewed as desirable because it produced the image and appearance that Victorian society idealized. The belief that illness was something to desire demonstrates how women's suffering and physical weakness were romanticized, and shows that by valuing whiteness over health, Victorian society reinforced the idea that a woman's worth was solely tied to her appearance. While examining these three beauty standards together, corsets, toxic makeup, and the pursuit of pale skin, a clear pattern emerges about Victorian society's values. They were not harmless trends, but socially enforced expectations that shaped how people viewed women's worth. This idea reflects a broader societal belief that a woman's value was rooted primarily in her appearance, rather than her autonomy and well-being. By encouraging women to endure pain, illness, and long-term harm for the sake of beauty, Victorian society reinforced structures that prioritized approval over safety. While this is just one era, these patterns can be seen repeating in modern society as well. Botox in young faces leading to unnatural frozen appearances, 10-year-olds applying retinol and damaging their skin barriers, beauty filters that distort perception and cause dysmorphia. All of the trends we are seeing in today's world are just repeating society showing where it places a woman's true value, in her appearance. To wrap up, I implore you to ponder these remaining questions that I found myself returning to as my research has continued and deepened. Number 1. In what ways do you see Victorian beauty standards limiting women's autonomy over their own bodies? Number 2. What do you think made Victorian society's continuous reinforcement of these harmful practices, despite the clear health risks? And finally, how do Victorian-era standards compare to women's modern beauty standards? Have societal attitudes towards women's appearance versus their well-being truly changed? While considering each of these questions, I want you to keep one thing in mind, that beauty standards are non-neutral. They are shaped by power and social expectations that often place a greater emphasis on how women should look, rather than how safe and healthy they should be. In conclusion, it's clear that Victorian beauty practices display harmful societal systems that prioritize women's appearance over their well-being. This idea is demonstrated through the wearing of corsets, the use of toxic makeup, and the pursuit of pale skin, which all created lasting physical and emotional harm to women. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope I've been able to open your eyes to how we have allowed society's expectations to harm and control women and the way they look for far too long, and how it's time for it to finally end.